Good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to say hello. I hope everybody's having a good start to this new month. These months just seem to be blasting by. 30 days, 31 days just go like woof, crazy fast. 2016 has been an interesting year, hasn't it? We're almost to the midway point of this year, which is incredible. I cannot believe that. It just blows my mind how things just accelerate. But that's the accelerated pace. That's the Mayan prophecy. That's part of that everything was just moving in rapid procession. We just flying through everything. But I'm here to talk to you for about a couple few things, and I don't want to get too deep into it. There'll be a radio show about it pretty soon, but I wanted to talk to you about momentum. Momentum is one of those things that are important, but I also want to talk about spirituality, I guess, in the sense of what's right for you. What's right for you in your spirituality. So let's start with that. Okay, spirituality. Okay, that's a loaded gun. That's a loaded question. That is something that is very unique to the individual person and what they do and how they do it. To become spiritual, to become awakened, to become whatever you want are looking for. Sometimes it's just better to let things flow and let things just happen in its natural progression. If you're tired and you don't feel like doing it, then don't do it. If you feel like sharing with the world, then share. With everything that you do and every decision you make, there's always going to be something that follows with that. So when you decide to say, hey, I'm going to be a spiritual person, well, you're going to attract like-minded individuals, people who are kind of like you or very similar to you, even though they have their own paths. What I did learn, what I am learning as a person who walks my path, and my path is my path only, so I can't compare it to anybody else's, is that you have to let people be where they're at. You have to let people where they're at. And just because your path works for you doesn't mean it will work for somebody else. I find that there's a lot of spiritual shaming. Like if you do certain things that aren't perceived spiritual or perceived awakened or perceived in a way that, maybe it's not conducive to that group or that group. But it's not about groups. It's not about being, in this family cubes. That happens naturally. In order to be in these little groups, you have to be yourself and to be open and to invite and to be, the magic. Just because you're vegan or just because you're a meat eater, just because you're vegetarian or just because you're a paleo eater, there's all kinds of ways to get to nirvana, to get to spirit, to see God, to see the stars, to be enlightened. So that's one thing, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a whole class on that, so you need to stay tuned for that. So let's move to the other subject. I want to move out of that one real quick because I like to keep these short and to the point. Number 2, momentum. Momentum is huge. Huge, 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 huge. It's your follow-up, your follow-through, and then you know what? You close the deal. Here's the thing. Momentum is powerful, but it also could be very detrimental to your growth. Because a lot of people, they begin things and they start things and then they see the pretty things. But as soon as something goes wrong, they don't have the strength of the momentum to carry them through. Momentum is also carrying you through the waves. It's like the rapids when you're going up and down and going through it and rolling and banking. Okay? Some days you have calm days and some days you don't. And so you have to be able to carry yourself through and understand that you're not always going to be enlightened. You're not always going to be, look at me, I'm a shiny star. That doesn't happen every day. For some people it does. But for the majority of us, it does not. And I'm going to be real about that. There's days that I wake up, I'm like, whoa, what the heck am I at? But I'm not here to share about my story. I'm only here to talk to you about momentum. Momentum is keeping the flow going. So you create something. You create an abundance moment, something that will help everybody. Help yourself, because you're really helping yourself. This is about you. This isn't about the world, because when you help you, you can't help but the world be helped. Okay, that's why we're all individual droplets into the big ocean, and we all contribute, and we're all part of it. So your momentum, you have to keep it flowing. You got to keep it moving. So as soon as you're at the brink of doing something great, and you're at the pinnacle, and you're tired, you're exhausted, that's when you push. It's just a little bit harder. You'd be surprised, because then the ride down is a little bit more easier. So never give up, never quit. Momentum is one of those things that carry us through, keep us moving. It's the inertia we create, the energy we push through us. Okay, so create your momentum, keep it moving, keep it going. Do the best you can in every given moment that you have. Enjoy what you enjoy. The sun is always shining, the clouds are just there. But you know what? Always remember, see life in a positive and most open way. So I love you guys. Take care. Have a great month. I hope that next month is good for you, and we'll talk to you soon.